Welcome to State of Wellbeing, a podcast from South Dakota State University. The State of Wellbeing is a holistic well-being podcast with the goal of supporting the campus community as we strive to be a growing, high-performing, and healthy university.
Welcome back to another episode of the State of Wellbeing podcast. My name is Kevin Sackrider. I am the Executive Director for the Center for Professional Enrichment and Teaching Excellence here at South Dakota State, and I am thrilled to be joined by members of the Van D and Barbara B. Fishback Honors College today. Specifically, we have Nora Roerig. He is the Honors Advisor. We have Dr. Chris Larson. She is the Kemp Endowed Professor of Honors Mathematics and a professor within our Mathematics and Statistics Department here at South Dakota State University. And we have Jaritza Cazares Cruz, who is an honors student. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast.
Thank you.
So why don't we just jump right in? And Chris, we'll start with you, and then we'll just work around the table. I gave brief introductions. I kind of revealed titles, but there's always more to each of us than that. And so give you a chance to just each introduce yourself to our audience. And so, Chris, we already mentioned that you have a joint appointment here at SDSU, but I know there's more to you than that. So do you want to just share a little bit about Chris?
Yes, I've been at SDSU for 30 years, 30 plus years, actually. And I just recently became the endowed professor in the honors mathematics, thanks to Dan and Michelle Kemp, who very generously donated money for the endowment. So my position is now sort of split between the Honors College and the College of Engineering.
Awesome. Well, Noah, sounds like it's your turn now. Do you just want to introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah. So as it was said, so my name's Noah Roerig, and I'm the Honors Advisor for the Honors College here at SDSU. So a little bit about me. I graduated from SDSU in 2022 with a degree in sport management, also graduated with Honors College distinction. And then this last fall, I finished up my master's degree also from here at SDSU in student affairs. And so really excited to transition into this role as the Honors Advisor back in August. So still in my first full year, but it's been exciting working with our students and learning about everything that our campus has to offer.
Awesome. Welcome, I guess, back to SDSU. Jaritza, you're bringing us the student perspective today. Do you want to tell us a little bit, maybe, what's your major and a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Jaritza, as you said before, and I currently serve as the Honors College Student Organization President, also known as HCSO, and I am currently a junior at SDSU studying biochemistry, human biology, and microbiology.
That sounds very busy.
Yes.
So why don't we just jump right into our conversation? It's one I've been looking forward to having. And so what I'd like to have us start by doing, and maybe Chris will let you kick us off here, is talk a little bit about the role of the Honors College in supporting students here at South Dakota State University, specifically what the Honors College does, who the Honors College supports, and specific services, and maybe how the faculty are involved in that.
Yeah, so as a faculty member in the Fishback Honors College, it's really key to know that honors courses are not about students doing additional work in their honors courses. Instead, students are given opportunities to understand material in these classes from a deeper perspective. Honors classes are typically smaller, allowing students and faculty to work together to become a community of learners and really delve into the content's theoretical aspects. For example, in my first year calculus class, students work in small groups to solve problems every day. Students build relationships with every student in the class because I change groups frequently within the class. Often students in that first semester foster relationships and friendships that last a lifetime. By meeting one-on-one with students, at the beginning of the semester, my students develop a connection with me as well that helps them feel more comfortable coming to me for help as the semester progresses.
I really appreciate that personal perspective that you were willing to share or able to share with us. One of the questions, and I probably go off what I told you I was going to ask a little bit, and this is kind of for everybody, but I think at the foundational level, how does somebody become an honors student at South Dakota State University?
Yeah, so I can take that one. So when thinking about, again, the honors experience here at SDSU, when students are interested in coming to South Dakota State University, we've established automatic eligibility criteria so that any student who meets any one of those criteria, when they come to SDSU, they're automatically eligible to take honors courses, to be involved in honors experiences right away here at SDSU. And so those criteria are if you have a 27 or higher on the ACT, if you have a 1280 or higher on the SAT, or a 3.7 or higher high school GPA. So any one of those three, congrats, you're in the Honors College. For our transfer students or those who are new to SDSU but are not first year students, if you have a 3.2 or higher or cumulative college GPA, that makes you eligible for honors here at SDSU. But if you don't meet any one of those criteria, we do have a short application process where we just want to get to know you a little bit better, and we want to get to know about your interest in honors here at SDSU.
Well, I think that's a really good transition into the next question that I had, and maybe Noah, we'll just kind of stick with you on that question, but it really is, how does the Van D. Barber B. Fishback Honors College connect students to the Honors College, but also connect students to the SDSU community?
And I think that's a really great question. And through my role with the Fishback Honors College, I think it's important to note that in my role as the advisor, I support over 600 honors students from over 70 different academic majors here at SDSU. And so each conversation I have with a student is going to look completely different, because every student within the Honors College has different interests, has different passions, has different aspirations for what they want to get out of their time here at SDSU. And so that's really important. And so through several different experiences, we feel like we provide those opportunities. So through our honors orientation course, there are multiple ways in which we aim to connect our students with the wider campus and Brookings community. So for example, one highlight from the class each semester is that there's a community project activity where small groups of students in the course choose a location within Brookings to do some research on. They go visit that location, they maybe talk to the owners, they get that in-depth perspective, and then they present their findings to the class. And so it's a really great opportunity for our students to learn a little bit more about the variety of resources that are available to them in the community, and to learn about all the fantastic things that Brookings has to offer.
Well, it sounds like a really incredible, obviously community building, but just a connecting opportunity to establish connection to place and feel home, and all of those really important relationship engagement type of concepts we talk about a lot here at SDSU.
Right, yes. Just helping them to establish and find their place here on campus is something that's really important. And so additionally, through that course, there's our teaching assistants for that course take several outings, and whether that's to different places on campus or in the community, whether it's attending a volleyball game or visiting McCrory Gardens or going to the farmers market downtown on Saturdays in the fall. So just, again, providing more of that community feel to our students in through that course.
I love that. I think community is so important, and to hear how you're supporting that. I know this might not be one of the events, but I know one of my big interactions to start each year is I work at the move-in experience. The Friday as all the freshmen are coming back onto campus for the first time, and I've been fortunate the past couple of years to drive one of the golf carts that drops the supplies, I guess the luggage and all the things, to the Honors College. And that's always been a really fun moment to see the dean and all the staff coming out, and all the students who are assigned to that hall who are also honors students coming out, and the energy and the positive feel and vibe that's there. I've really enjoyed that opportunity. It feels like it's a very welcoming place.
That's our goal from the moment that our honor students step on campus. We want them to know it's always all hands on deck, with our staff really just doing whatever we can to support students from move-in to graduation.
Right. Well, if you ever hear about a broken mirror or maybe a large case of laundry detergent that got dumped on the sidewalk, I may have been responsible for that. So I apologize. I tell them to talk to Becky. She'll take care of it, right? Jaritza, I think we haven't heard from you yet. And so I think it's important to get your voice involved here. And so why don't we talk a little bit, maybe you could talk a little bit to the idea of community and engagement that Noah was just mentioning. But then I also want to kind of talk a little bit about the Honors College student experience here. So maybe we'll start with your experience with connecting and community and your role as president of that honors organization. And let's start there. So what has it been like for you to connect within the Honors College?
Yeah, of course. So it all started actually my freshman year when the awkward party was happening that the HCSO puts on every year.
It's named the awkward party, right? It's not just an awkward party that we stumbled into, right? Okay,
it's called the awkward party because we are all honors kids, so we very much understand that there might be that little hesitance, but as the HCSO board, we really tried to help those students, and I was one of the students they helped, and because of that, I became their freshman representative that first year, and I've been there ever since, so it's currently my third year as the president, like I stated before. So it's just been really great because I've grown with the staff like Hannah, Becky, and Nate, our past advisor for HCSO, and it is now Noah, so now I've gotten to know Noah better, as well as just all the different students I've been on within the board. Some who have helped me with classes, just study tips or anything like that, or even just where to go for advisors and staff kind of point. And I've actually gotten research opportunities through them from other teachers that taught within honors. So yeah, it's really great. Obviously, they look out for the community and they see you as more than just a student, but part of like the family with.
I love that family feel, and you hear that as you're speaking. And so those are all really positive things, but I'm sure just like any other student on our campus, there's moments of frustration as the honors students navigate the SDSU community and kind of that day-to-day, the daily here at SDSU. And so I'm curious, what are some of the frustrations that you or your fellow students within honors maybe experience? And then how does the Honors College support and help you navigate those frustrations?
Yeah, of course. So one of the biggest frustrations that I know I have felt, and other students as well that I've heard, is not feeling connected, whether that is to peers, faculty, or just the bigger SDSU community. That's something that I know, at least from experience, the Fishback Honors College actively works to change through programs like Honors 100, where we take them out to the farmers market, like Noah stated. So that's with the Brookings community. And then we have fellowships for students, as well as opportunities within the HCSO board as well, and just for people who want to come to our events and everything. But the Fishback Honors College, through its connections, really helps students transition from feeling like just another face in the crowd to feeling like an important part of the community. Especially when you're dealing with those larger lecture classes that can be up to 300 kids. It can be tough to build relationships with the teachers or even other students, but the smaller, close-knit classes that Dr. Larson talked about offered a completely different experience where you can get those study tips, talk to your teacher, and just definitely know where to go, and it serves as kind of a guide and path. But beyond that, students are supported in connecting to opportunities outside of SDSU, like I briefly mentioned, whether that's for jobs, undergraduate research, or interdisciplinary experiences. The Fishback Honors College just really serves as kind of a one-stop shop, I like to say. Students may come in with one question about their schedule, but they leave with a whole bunch of information about research opportunities, job openings, or even community service projects. And it's all about making those connections easier.
Sounds like a really incredible network, right? And Chris, you maybe have perspective on this, but it really strikes me, as you mentioned, how hard it can be to make those connections in those 300 to 400 person classes. That class size is a big issue, right? And in those smaller environments that I think honors sounds like they can facilitate really well, those connections maybe are a little bit easier for our students, right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. The fact that I only have 30 calculus students. That really allows me to get to know every single one of those students. Those students feel really comfortable coming in to talk to me, not just while they're in my class. I see them the next several semesters after they've finished with my class, because we've built that kind of a relationship, and we were able to do that through the honors.
I love that. And I think all of this speaks to really the theme behind our podcast series, and that being well-being. And one of the things we really want to spend some time talking about is how the Honors College supports the mental, physical, emotional well-being of the students within the Honors College. And there may be some connections there to the Student Success Network as well, but I don't want to answer that question for you. And so, Jaritza, if you maybe wanted to start us out by talking about, from your perspective, how does the Honors College support the well-being, and really at all three of those levels, that mental, emotional, physical, those levels, how does the Honors College support the students from a well-being perspective?
Yeah, so the Fishback Honors College really understands that students are more than just their coursework. So in turn, they provide a variety of resources for students holistically to support them. For example, HCSO was made by students, like for students. So we throw on an event every year. It's called our De-Stress event, where a comfort canine group led by Dr. Droke comes in. So we have a fun event where students get to do crafts, be with dogs, and have food. So obviously that is all before finals. So it helps them during that tough part of the year. But this year we even catered Taco Bell, so I saw a lot of happy faces.
You can't go wrong when you cater Taco Bell. I have a 16-year-old. I know the love of Taco Bell, so I'm guessing that translates to our college age demographic as well.
Yeah, but further support that we also provide to try to get the off-campus students, as we do a Cubbies trivia night. So that kind of helps the honors kid in us, where we want to just answer questions that we know. So we give them free food and just a chance to connect with other SDSU students. And then last, but definitely not least, is our honors formal, which is usually our last event. And we put this on yearly, and it's just to really celebrate the students' hard work throughout the school year. So we give them a fun and memorable way to de-stress before spring finals. But obviously, well-being isn't just about relaxation. So the Honors College definitely sees that it's about preparing students for life beyond SDSU as well. So that's why the Honors College Student Organization and the Fishback Honors College offer opportunities like financial well-being workshops, mentorship programs through BCYMP, and the Honors Peer Mentor Program, which Noah can explain it better than I can, so you can get into that.
Yeah, and I think that's a great segue to talking a little bit more about specifically that Honors Peer Mentor Program. And so this is really a popular program that supports the well-being of specifically our first-year students, in that when first-year students come to campus, we pair them with returning honors students. And so we make these pairings based on students' majors, based on their personal interest, hobbies, all sorts of things, to, again, make sure that students are paired based on compatible interest. And so throughout the fall semester, our honors peer mentors periodically are going to check in with their mentees, and they can really discuss a variety of things in these check-ins, from talking about resources that are available on campus to support their success, like, going to the wellness center or attending tutoring for classes, to talking about ideas for different student organizations or clubs to get involved with here on campus, or providing information about how to get involved with different experiences through the Fishback Honors College. And so it's really not only an excellent way for our first-year students to develop that personal connection with a returning honor student, but it also benefits our returning honor students in turn, because they have that opportunity to pass on their lived experiences and the knowledge that they've gained from their time as an honor student. So they really want that. They have that desire to give back. And so I hear from so many of these students who are inspired to take on these positions within the Fishback Honors College, whether it's through our peer mentoring program or whether it's our honors teaching assistants, because they had past positive experiences. And they have this desire to give back and to provide that support to future honor students.
I love that. I love that perspective. And so I'm probably going to put you on the spot just a little bit, but from my perception, speaking for Noah, for Hannah, for Dr. Bott-Knudsen, well-being of the students within the honors program seems to be a real priority. And I guess I would just ask you, from your role as honors advisor, if I'm an honors student, you're probably one of those real first points of contact that I'm going to have. How do you prioritize well-being as you're engaging and supporting and working with the students within the Honors College?
And I think that's a great point. And I think, like Jaritza was talking about, we really have this mindset in the Honors College that, again, depending on the perception, that students are more than their coursework, right? They're more than just their grades. Like they're like all of us. They're people, and they have these aspirations. And so really, and through supporting our students in that way, we're thinking about how can we help them to strive for whatever they want to get out of their college experience, because the exciting part of my job is that I get to work with students who have all sorts of different majors and have all sorts of different reasons why they're here at SDSU. And so it's really catering our approach based on the needs and the interest of the student. Every student's path through honors, even students who have the same major. So 2 nursing students, for example, are going to have 2 completely different paths through honors. And we strive to provide that flexibility for our students. And so we feel like that's a great way in which we support our students to, again, achieve what they're looking to get out of their time here at SDSU.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I know I put you on the spot just a little bit with that one, but you hit it out of the park. That was a really thoughtful response, and I appreciate that. And so we've talked a lot about supporting students, and I think there's a group that we really want to make sure we focus on, and that's our faculty and staff. And Chris, how can faculty and staff prioritize supporting all students, but in this conversation case, supporting the students of the Fishback Honors College?
Well, another of my roles in the Honors College is to provide professional development for faculty. Actually, got started with that through you,
I might
Kevin.
know a little about that. Yeah,
you do. And these professional development opportunities are just another way for faculty to support students. They're a venue for the faculty to share their best practices, things that they're doing in their classes that they know are really supporting students and are valuable learning experiences. And we as faculty are really the students' touchstones to help them as they navigate their way through their first year to graduation. And so there are many ways that faculty can support honors students. For example, ask an honors students about their honors experience during their your advising appointments, right? Or offer to allow an honors students to do an honors contract in a course. It doesn't have to be an honors course for a student to earn honors credit for that course, or become a mentor for a student on their honors capstone project. So a simple way to start is actually just to put a statement on your syllabus that says, I am open to contracting for honors for this course. And that might be just the door that they need to come and talk to you about that as a possibility.
I love that idea of using the syllabus. I always have said it's a communication tool, but it's a great way to get opportunities like that in front of students. And I just really appreciate that comment. I think that's one that I've heard a couple times throughout this series, that idea of we can promote the ways we support our students by including that on our syllabus. It doesn't just have to be a class policy document, right? Yeah. And so I appreciate you sharing that. So we are getting near the end of our time, but I did want to give you a chance to talk about, and I know, Jaritza, you already kind of mentioned a few events, but just to mention any events that you all have that are either upcoming or occur annually within the Honors College that you might want to make sure that we're, as an audience, that we're aware of.
Yeah, so as the HCSO president, I obviously have to rep all of our events. So there are several exciting HCSO events that are coming up, and we'd really love for students to get involved, not necessarily just honor students. So we have the Cubbies Trivia Night coming up, which is free appetizers, free trivia, and there's also free prizes for the winners.
A lot of free in there.
Yes.
Right?
So if you want to take a break, meet new people, and enjoy some friendly competition, that would be a great event to attend. We also have Swap and Shop, which is a thrifting opportunity for people. So if you love thrifting with friends, while also helping out the local community, because we donate the remaining clothes to everyone here. It's a fantastic way to just refresh your wardrobe while also giving back. So if that interests you, please come to Swap and Shop. And then we also have our Honors Formal, which we put on every year, as I previously mentioned. So if you want to have some fun, whether it be by dancing the night away or just enjoying atmosphere with friends, that's a perfect way to wrap up the semester. And another major event that we have that I really want to make sure I talk about is the HCSO board elections. So if you're looking to get more involved with the Fishback Honors College and want to build some strong connections with fellow students or even staff, do not hesitate to apply. It's really a great leadership opportunity that allows you to make a real impact. And that is definitely something that I've seen throughout my career here at SDSU, as it's really just molded me to become the person I am.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Noah, from your perspective, sitting within the leadership of the Honors College, any events that you want to make sure that we keep in mind that maybe Jaritza didn't mention?
Yeah, I can mention a couple other opportunities that'll be occurring the rest of this year. So typically every spring we host ERSCAD here on campus, which is the Undergraduate Research, Scholarship, and Creative Activity Day, which is an excellent opportunity for students from across campus to be able to present their research, creative projects, or other sorts of scholarly activity that they're doing.
Correct? Not
That's
just
open
honors,
to all
yes.
students, honor students, and anyone else on campus can participate in that experience. And so that's a great opportunity that we host every year on campus. We also host convocation, in honors convocation, every fall semester, and this is a great opportunity where we recognize the accomplishments of our honor students, but we also take time to recognize our faculty, staff, and even community members who are making a difference for our honors college students here at SDSU. We also every semester host honors literary circles, in which we Chris and I select a book, and we gather for conversations over this book with honor students, with faculty, staff, community members. So all are invited to join. So really, with any honors events that we promote, it's really an open door policy, because we welcome all who want to participate and want to engage in these activities, regardless of whether they're an honors student or not.
Love that. I love that welcoming openness to community. That's really so important. And so as we wrap up, I always like to end these conversations by giving my guests a chance to share that takeaway from our conversation. If you had 30 seconds to give the honors pitch or the honors takeaway to those people who are listening today, what would that be? Like, what do you want people to leave this conversation knowing about the Honors College? Maybe, Chris, you're looking at me. It looks like you might have something to say. So I'm going to let you kick us off, and then we'll just work around the table, I think.
Yeah, I think that what I would take away from this conversation are even things that I didn't necessarily know as a faculty in the Honors College. All of the different things that the honors students are doing, and all the different ways that honors students can get involved in in campus, in the community, and just be supported within our college. They are many, many more opportunities than I even knew about. And so as a faculty member and as other faculty members, it probably would be a great idea for you to sit down and have some conversations with honor students and see what kinds of things that they're involved in that you might want to promote for other students.
A lot of opportunities and a lot of care. I sense a lot of care for the well-being within our conversation. Noah, what are your thoughts as we wrap up?
So really what I would hope that our listeners are taking away from this conversation is that the Fishback Honors College is well connected across campus in the community, and we provide lots of opportunities for students to engage in these sorts of opportunities, whether it's leadership or just getting to know about the resources that are available here on campus. Also, just the knowledge that the Fishback Honors College is invested in our students' well-being, in our students' growth, and again, achieving their full potential as students here at SDSU. And this desire that we as the Fishback Honors College want to serve as really a support system for our honor students. And we always talk about it, helping our students to feel that home away from home through the Honors College, and providing that really high quality, enriching experience for them during their time here at SDSU.
That's a great way to kind of wrap up a lot of what we've talked about today. So, Jaritza, from the student perspective, what do you want me to know about the Honors College?
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, what makes the Fishback Honors College special is the sense of community, which we've spoken a lot about already. It's definitely a place where students can thrive, make lifelong connections, and know that they're supported academically, socially, and personally. And that's truly what makes being involved with HCSO and the Fishback Honors College so meaningful.
I love that. And I think all of you did a really tremendous job of not just summing up our conversation, but you can sense as I mentioned earlier, the care and the passion you have for the work that you all do within the Honors College and the experience you have within the Honors College. And so I want to thank you all for joining us. Noah, Chris, Jaritza, your perspective, I think, is really valuable, and I really appreciate you taking the time to tell us a little bit about the Van D and Barbara B. Fishback Honors College here at South Dakota State University. For those of you listening, I want to thank you again for tuning in to this episode of our series focused on the Student Success Network and those offices and individuals who support that work. And so thank you again for being a part of our audience today and joining us for the State of Wellbeing podcast.
Thank you for listening to this episode of State of Wellbeing, a podcast from South Dakota State University. This podcast is brought to you by the Mental Wellbeing Team and SD State Health.